Most coaching relationships start with, let's talk about your goals, your vision, your mindset. What do you really want to do? Oh, you want to do that? They don't even know. Then the coach goes, here's what I'm really good at, so let me cram this down your throat. Since my background is in lead generation, marketing, and conversion, how do we acquire new clients? How does one build a system in which they can acquire new buyers, new sellers, and then scale that? And then what are all of our options and what are the best ways to approach lead acquisition and new clients and scaling that? And I've looked at every single model that exists in the industry. I was trained, of course, with my dad's model, the Ferry system, which is very clear, it's very well designed, and it works. It's about scaling up your listing appointments and listing conversion and doing that year after year. Then I worked on all the other models with my brother's company, looked at every model, referral models, database models, geographic farming models, internet lead models, buying internet lead models, social media models, online models, you name it, open house models, direct block and tackle models, everything. BNI models, professional networking models, radio conversion models. But what I've learned over many years of taking on a new coaching client is the clarity and the specificity of coaching of real estate agents, understanding of how they acquire the new business and how they acquire business. Their clarity is way off, and it causes a lot of problems and stress. See, after 15 years of coaching agents and seeing this process of getting mega agents that were super successful who are literally on the decline, been in the business for 20 years, and I'd say, what's your number one source of business? And they're like, then I'm like, okay, what are some of the systems? These are people who've achieved some of the biggest awards in the industry and are on the decline, and they hire coaching at the very end. And I've seen them at this stage, and they're like, I don't know, database, and what about geographic what about online? What about, and it's, wait, what? So extraordinary. Some of the most incredible people on the planet, real estate agents who've achieved millions and millions of dollars, they just hustled their way through. And then the decline is really a lack of clarity of how they acquire new clients and developing clarity to the system, the process. Is it scalable? How does the market influence it? Is it a trending lead source? Is it a falling lead source? They don't take a step back to look at lead generation systems and then to help create better planning around that. And it's a disaster. I refer to it as a lead gen audit. And this is unique to what I do as a coach. And then I audit the lead generation, and then we formulate the right strategy from where they are successful, what they are good at, what their market responds well to, what training that they have done. But people don't self-reflect on this. They don't look at it objectively, find it, organize it, and then build into it. I refer to this as the lead gen audit. So I'm talking to a rockstar young real estate pro, and at the current moment, he's $20 million in sales volume. Profits going like this because his lead source are these referral lead sources, these paid lead sources. They're taking 25, 30, 40% out of the commission checks, plus he's got splits, plus he has expenses. But he's selling a lot, 20 million. He should be making about $500,000 a year, but his GCI is going like this. And I'm asking him, to your primary sources of business, what are your primary lead generation systems? 10 years in the business, he's exactly on track right now. And this is one of the things that I solve as a coach. And I do it through what's called the Lead Gen Audit. And I have developed a 5-year lead source view. Lead Gen Audit first. What are you good at? How would you define how you acquired the client? Now, show me how you track it. I don't really track it. Fine. Go pull every one of your transactions, look at each and every one of the names and the address, buy, sell, and I want you to tell me, how did you acquire them? How did you meet them? When did you meet them? The more you actually understand your client acquisition, then you start to track it all out. Then we start to look at it over a 5-year window. Why 5 years? My gosh, you don't think that market cycles have influence over different lead sources and lead source trends? Hello. That's important observation number one, to reduce your stress and increase your certainty about what you're going to do. And remember, my expertise is mastery over lead sources. I actually wrote a training called How to Master Any Lead Source, both buyer and seller. Doesn't really matter what type. I built an entire framework around exactly how to master any lead source, to go from, I don't know how to work this lead source, to this lead source now generates $500,000, $250,000 every year And if I never do anything else, I can always just have mastery over this one lead source. I developed that. It's a unique IP for me. So going back, what I saw was when I looked at the 5 years and we broke it down clearly, then we stacked ranked. I have a spreadsheet of this. I have an entire playbook of this stacked ranked. So what's your number one source of business? Now, I don't care about volume. My father obviously taught me this. Volume is interesting, but not great. It's of course valuable to know this. But what we want to know is clients acquired. See, because you can get one client right now. My wife has one potential client for 10 million. It's a 10 to $15 million buyer. Great. One client that they acquired through sphere of influence could buy one transaction that is 10 to $15 million. What I need to know is that was a sphere of influence client. It was an association through this group that they earn this business opportunity. That is important to me to understand as a business coach, that you are good when you are networking within groups and communities. The simple story of this for my newer coaching clients, I had a great long-time coaching clients that I've helped go from 250,000 to $1 million in revenue. And along the journey, when I met them, they're like, we need to be doing expires. We need to start a farm. We need to be doing better with social media. I think we're going to buy some Zillow leads. I'm like, okay. Fundamental mistake of a coach is I was an expired expert. This is 10 years ago, by the way. I was an expired expert. So I'm like, as a coach, I'm an expert in expireds. I'll help you with that. Then Zillow leads, I can help you with that. Zillow, farming, expireds, these were all brand new lead sources that they were like, we are supposed to be doing these. Therefore, we need you, coach, to help us do these three so that we can grow and scale our business. And after about 6 months, I realized I wasn't getting anywhere with these guys with farming, Zillow leads, and expireds or social. All their business, though, was coming from past clients and their sphere of influence and their networks from the past. We're spending huge amounts of dollars on expireds, tons of money on farming, and of course, tons of money on Zillow. We're spending $5,000 over here a month. All the business is coming from over here. All we're talking about is this stuff. This stuff is failing miserably because we're spread too thin. They're actually working and producing a lot of business over here. And that's when I realized the most important epiphany as a business coach. No business coach should ever start with creating a new project unless it's really crystal clear with the client. It's got to be crystal clear that this is the right decision, that these other things are stable. These other things are really well organized and are on the right track. It's such a critical point. So when I finally backed off and did a lead gen audit, I realized that all of their business came from past client repeat, past client referral, sphere new, sphere referral. All of the business was over there. They actually were pretty effective at open houses. They were good face-to-face. And so what we did is we dropped all this other stuff. We dropped Zillow, got rid of it, farming, slowed that down, kept the money, and then stopped the whole expired BS. And what we did is we just focused in on developing this other stuff, the clients, the sphere, and then reworked their networking through their social because they were trying to break into a higher end area. Old business was lower end area from previous years. So they're trying to break in here. They were dynamic. So expireds and door knocking and this stuff wasn't working. Just go network. I got them networking. Next thing, this business went from 250 to 500. And then this business, this new marketplace, higher end marketplace, eventually started cracking. And next thing you know, I got them to 750 to $1 million. It's because I was strategically looking at where are they good at. When they are out there in the marketplace, they perform and it's natural and things happen. You can't make those observations with a coach. I don't want to wait 6 months to a year for me to figure that out with you because I have to talk you through it. If we just do the lead gen audit and you show me the 5-year history of your most successful lead source by all the way down to least successful, and you show me what you've been able to do, both buyers and sellers and GCI, of course, clients acquired in GCI, all the way down, and I can see that, I can immediately tell where your strengths are, what's trending, and what we need to focus on. Easy peasy weasy. But most coaching relationships start with, let's talk about your goals, your vision, your mindset, and what do you really want to do? Oh, you want to do that? They don't even know. Then the coach goes, here's what I'm really good at, so let me cram this down your throat. And then of course now the client is just spinning in circles and hopefully they actually already had a stable business and then they can kind of start to work it out. That is not a way to grow and scale a fast coaching relationship. So lead gen audit, 5-year by lead source view, right, is one of my unique strategies that I apply. And I've got the documentation, I've got the spreadsheets. Now, for my newer clients, some of you, I won't press that hard right up front. It's something that maybe we develop into. Thankfully, because I have now 15 years of experience coaching real estate agents, and I know classically, when I meet with a new client, I'm very clear, here's what we can do. And I kind of audit and assess them fast. And I can tell them exactly where we can kind of start to scale up their revenue and start to build together. But ultimately, we've got to develop the system of the lead gen and the 5-year view, and then start to build a system around that so that I can help scale their business. And they can see always where the most valuable number 1 place to work, and then most valuable number 2 place to work, where they can dramatically and quickly increase their revenue fast. And that's what a good coaching relationship is supposed to do. It's not cram a bunch of, here's 16 models that I want you to apply tomorrow and go put you in a room doing homework. That's not how this is supposed to go.